Welcome to Hard Rock Stadium, the site of the improbable, yet the reality that Indiana football is on top of the college football world. National champs after a 27-21 win over Miami. I don't really know where to start, Eli. All I know is that this was a movie. They said it all season. They kept in their lane. They focused on the task at hand. Now they're national champs.
No matter what was thrown at them throughout the entire year, yes, they've had their majority of games where they won lopsided.
Right.
They've had a couple games. You look at Iowa, Oregon, Penn State in the regular season where you had to earn the victory. And then you get to the college football playoff, you roll through Alabama, you roll through Oregon. The next thing you know, you have a close one here against Miami, but just finding a way to get it done is that's what you do. You play for 60 minutes, and that's exactly what they did, and that's why it's just looking up at the screen right now, IU national champions is just still going to be something that is going to take a while to get used to, but awesome to be a part of, that's for sure.
Absolutely incredible. And you mentioned just finding a way to get it done. And I don't think I've seen a team epitomize toughness in a singular game for all 4 quarters. Mendoza gets a bloody lip, a personal foul that wasn't called in the first quarter. Roman Hemby, Kalon Black running so tough. Charlie Becker making back shoulder contested catches. Fernando Mendoza with 9 minutes to go in the game. Kamara on a 3-man rush on a punt, blocking it. These are just effort plays that have set this team apart when they're not the most talented. Kurt Signetti said after the game, are we going to have 8 first-round draft picks coming up in April? No, we're absolutely not. We're going to have 1, the number 1 pick most likely, but this is just a team of scrappers who get it done. You mentioned, not really being tested in this playoff, which is crazy to say, and then just, Miami had the momentum at several points in this game, and IU just stiff-armed them and got it done when it mattered most.
Yeah, it all goes back to the culture that Signetti talked about after the game, where he brought over 13 players from James Madison last year. He had 7 of those players on that roster this year who sort of implemented that culture and just putting your nose to the grindstone and getting to work. And we talk about making plays at the right times. You mentioned those momentum plays.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the secondary a little bit and how well they stepped up in big moments too, because Miami had its way offensively in that second half. That's why this game was a game near the end. But then you have Jamari Sharp, who was pretty much a blanket himself throughout this entire game, comes up with that game-winning interception. And it's just it's a team that's full of misfits, guys that didn't believe that they fit in anywhere else, and they all just came together as one and wanted to win. And you can't put it any different than this is just one of those awesome stories that we're going to be telling for the rest of history.
Kurt Signetti came in with a plan, executed the plan, didn't buy into any narratives, and just went to work. And his team followed the captain of this ship, and forever etched in the minds of Hoosier fans everywhere, Fernando Mendoza diving for the end zone, getting crushed while doing it on a 4th and 5 to take a 10-point lead. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, we'll never forget it. And just the celebration afterward was awesome. Just cool to be a part of and cool to talk with the players afterwards too.
Absolutely. And enough of us. You want to hear from all these national champs. What a world we're living in. IU national champions.
Okay, hard-fought game. Give a lot of credit to Miami. It was a real gut check. We found a way. It's credit to our guys' resiliency to find a way to get that done. It's a great thing. Indiana winning the national championship 2 years into our tenure. You do it with people and a plan. Can't say enough about our senior leadership and the people we have in the locker room and the people we have on our staff and our strength and conditioning staff, support staff, and the commitment we received from President Witt and Scott Dolson. I would like to say our NIL is nowhere near what people think it is, so you can throw that out. This team really overcame a lot on the road in a lot of tight games and found a way to get it done, and we're 16-0, and I guess we're 27-2 since Indiana, but we're 16-0.
16.
National champions at Indiana University, which I know a lot of people thought was never possible. it probably is one of the greatest sports stories of all time. But it's all because of these guys and the staff. So proud of them, and it's a great night.
We're going to start with questions. Let us get you the mic. Again, as a reminder, Fernando Mendoza will join us in progress. We'll take our first question from our right-hand side on the aisle.
Hey, Kurt, Dan Wolken from Yahoo Sports. With that 9 minute to go decision, field goal team went out, you brought him back. What was the thought process there in going for it and the play call?
Yeah, I think we'd gone for it on fourth down, maybe the series before too, or maybe it was that series. And we finally came up with some ways to give the quarterback a chance to get the ball out of his hand because we were having some protection issues. That particular play didn't feel really good about kicking a field goal there. The play before, they were in the coverage for the quarterback draw, which we put in specifically in the medium package in the low red against that look. We had to block it a little different than we normally do, and that was about a 45-minute discussion in the staff room how we were going to call it and do it. Line did a great job executing, so the back, and Fernando trucked the linebacker, broke a few tackles. And, let me tell you, Fernando, I know he's great at interviews and comes off as the All-American guy, but he has the heart of a lion when it comes to competition. I mean, that guy competes like a warrior, and, he got really smacked a few times in this game. That one drive we kicked the field goal, there should have been two roughing the quarterbacks and one high hit to the head that weren't called. I'm all for letting them play, but when they cross the line, you got to call them. And I can't say enough about his effort on that play and our team finding a way to get it done.
Take our next question here in the middle. Stay on the right-hand side.
For Fernando, it's Pat 40 from Sports Illustrated. If you could go through the quarterback draw as well. First of all, the timeout, and did you know that was you were going to go for it, and that would be the play call, and then the actual play itself?
Yeah, a big concept that we've really had on ourselves this year is always betting on ourselves. Whether it's preseason, no one thinks we can make it. Whether it's figuring it out in situations like Oregon, Penn State, and Iowa, we've always figured it out. And whenever Coach Signetti, Coach Shanahan, they called that play, we knew, hey, we're going to bet ourselves one more time in the biggest stage of the game. And at that point, I took the drop, and it wasn't the perfect coverage for it, but I trust my linemen, and everybody in that entire offense and entire team had a gritty performance today, and we're all putting our bodies on the line. So it's the least I could do for my brothers.
Come over here to the left-hand side.
Yeah, Coach Signetti, you're obviously going to follow your dad into the Hall of Fame one day, but this championship moment was the one thing that escaped both of you. I just wonder how much you thought about him on a night like tonight and what you think he would have said to you.
I thought about him after the game when I stuck my two fingers in the air, and then Big Ten Network asked me about him, and I said, "Oh, you want me to get all choked up, right?" When we went from FCS to FBS in the Sun Belt, our first game he was in a coma, and we beat that FBS team 48-10 in the opener. And my family told me in the hospital that we'd won 48-10, and they said he smiled. And then we had a great win against Appalachia State the week after he died down there after they beat A&M. We were down 28-3 in the second quarter, came back and won. So hopefully he was watching today. He was a great role model. I was very blessed to have a father like that.
Stay over on our left-hand side on the aisle.
Yeah, it's Chuck Culpepper from the Washington Post for Mikhail. You kind of epitomized this whole thing. It's been since 2020. If you could what do you think about when you think about that path since then?
I mean, I've played pretty much every single level of football, FCS, G5, now here in the Big Ten. So just to really do this with guys like Fisher and all my other teammates that I've done this journey alongside of, I didn't think it was possible, man. I can't lie. But to be here today, it's surreal.
Take our next question right over here on the left-hand side aisle.
This is for Coach and Mikhail. Sammy Jacobs from Hoosier Huddle. You guys have had your starters, All-Americans, make plays on punt block all year with D'Angelo. Take us through that play and how important it is to have those guys like Mikhail, Isaiah Jones, D'Angelo make impacts on special teams.
I'll start with a short answer. You know, Pawns was a punt block, and he blocked the punt. This was actually a return, and McHale blocked the punt. We didn't have punt block called. And Nadukwe's done it a couple times as well. And you can take it away.
Pretty much there was a punt before where we were in defensive safe, and I feel like I was kind of close. So the second time, the time that I blocked it, I was like, I'm just going to shoot my shot. And I just watched the ball, got off the ball as fast as I could, shot my shot, and I heard that double thug.
Very fitting that Isaiah Jones would be on the recovery.
Move over here to the far right-hand side.
Chris Vanini from The Athletic. Fernando, you dropped a curse word there at the end, something you don't do very often. Where'd that come from?
Yeah, I would say overwhelmed by emotion, and it's the pinnacle peak. It's like all season we've, sometimes I've had these cookie cutter responses, and media trained responses where it's been like, oh, on to the next game, on to the next play, and now we did it. We did it. So at that point, I think it was only fitting to kind of, open the floodgates, per se. Probably break my stereotype.
He's been around Coach Sig too long. He has an X-rated mouth.
No doubt.
Back on our left-hand side.
Hi, Coach Ari Wasserman on 3. In this sport for the past, 25 years, it's been done a certain way to get to this point. You recruit top 5 classes, you get a bunch of 5 stars, you develop them, you win national championships. What you guys did is something that really has never been done before. You said at the beginning yourself that nobody believed that this could happen. What message did you send to the entire sport by doing what you did in terms of anybody can do this? And do you think that what you guys did changed the way that we should analyze this?
I think we sent a message, first of all, to society that if you keep your nose to the grindstone and work hard and you got the right people, anything's possible. In our particular situation in the athletic world, college football's changed quite a bit, the balance of power also. But we had the right people on our staff, in the weight room, in the locker room. And we had great senior leadership and togetherness, and we had a really good quarterback that played his best when the chips were down. And if you prepare the right way, which this team did week in, week out, and put it on the field, we met the challenge every single week, and we're 16-0. Are there 8 first-round draft choices on this team? Probably not. No, there aren't. But this team, the whole was greater than the sum of its parts.
Bill Bender, Sporting News. Is questions for the defensive players. I mean, not only mentioned statistics, they had 18 yards in the first quarter, I think, and that start. I mean, what went into that, and then what was your vantage point of obviously the game clinching interception?
Yeah, it's something we pride ourselves on, is stopping the run first. Kind of got away from it in the second half, a couple of miscues, but just a resilient group. We came into this game knowing that the more physical team was going to win. And credit to Miami. They're an extremely big and physical O-line with, great running backs and a lot of weapons that can hurt you quickly. But, I mean, Coach Haynes is unbelievable at what he does. We have guys that just want to win. They're one-on-ones, and, as a whole, we came down to the bend, don't break mentality on that last possession. We told ourselves on the sideline, we're going to have a chance to go win this thing. And I feel like that was kind of fitting for our team. Put it on us one more time and, kind of let the chips fall. But I'm just so proud of our guys on defense, and, the staff we have is unbelievable. And you put guys on the field that just want an opportunity to prove themselves. I think they've done that at this point.
Pretty much to piggyback off of what he said, like, we really just pride ourselves on stopping the run and then making it so we could just pin our ears back and rush the passer on third down. So just to have, like, a leader and a All-American linebacker like Fish behind me, bro, he just makes the game so much easier for me. So I'm happy to be playing with him and the rest of my group.
All right, we're going to come right over here, middle of our left-hand side.
Andrea Adelson with ESPN. Kurt, as a follow-up to what you were just asked, how do you think winning a championship will change the way people view and talk about Indiana football?
We're national champs. TCU had a great run a few years ago and fell short. I know Indiana's football history has been pretty poor with some good years sprinkled in there. And, it was because, there wasn't an emphasis on football, plain simple. Basketball school. Coach Knight had great teams. The emphasis is on football. It's on basketball, too. But, you got to be good in football nowadays. We got a president that comes from the South that loves football. We've got an AD that is a tremendous fundraiser, people person. And we've got a fan base the largest alumni base in the country, Indiana University. And they're all in, and we got a lot of momentum. So we just got to keep working at getting better in all phases that influence program success, including the things that happen within the program. Stay humble and hungry, and work diligently toward improvement, buy into the process. What the outside public thinks, we don't control. It's a great story, tremendous story. Most people will tell you that are in the know, it's probably one of the greatest stories of all time in terms of a team expect that most people, what we got done. We're going to enjoy this moment, take a day off tomorrow, get back at it Wednesday. A lot of these guys will be gone. I'll miss them. Hope I can stay connected to them throughout the rest of their lives, and put the 26 team together.
We're going to all the way back on our right, standing up.
Hey, Coach. Hanjay Roger from CBS Sports. First for Coach, there are 7 players left who came with you from James Madison. I'm curious, what has that group meant, and how did it help set the culture? And for the 2 defense players who obviously were both part of that group, what do you think your guys' legacy will be coming from JMU and having such success here?
I think the JMU crew, which started at 13 in our first season, was very instrumental, especially the guys that came in mid-year. I think there were 8 or 9 of them. I can't remember for sure, maybe 10 or 11, because they understood the program, the culture, and they had that championship attitude. They were able to answer questions for the guys that decided to return, and the right guys returned. And the new transfers, too, they could answer their questions and lead, and they were good players. And I think that accelerated our development as a program. There's no question about it. There were 7 more left this year, and they all played a very key, pivotal role. I'll miss them. And now I'll defer to you.
I first just want to shout out some of those key guys last year, like James Carpenter and Jaywalk, just some of the guys that really didn't get a lot of media attention, but those guys were dogs, and they did a lot for this program, and they really set an example for the younger guys that came up behind them. But like I said earlier, just to be able to do something this crazy, this is something you write a book about, right? You write a movie about. So to do this in real life and do it with all these guys that I love, it's just it's amazing.
It's just been an unbelievable journey. You take those 13 guys. I don't think any of them, had great offers coming out of high school. We had a coach that took a chance on us once, and then the opportunity arose to do it again. And I know, for me, it changed my life. I'm here playing at the highest level with some guys that, I was playing at a very small level at. And it's just been a crazy journey, and one that I'm so glad that we got to do together. Those 13 guys that came in, we owe a big credit to the Indiana guys that took us in really quick. You put a group of guys together that just wanted to win, and, they were starving for wins at Indiana. The biggest shout-out is to Mike Kadick. He kind of started this thing. He brought us in, and there was no, cliques or anything with the JMU guys. We all were together, with the Indiana guys from day one. But just special men that got brought on this journey, guys that just put their head down and worked. And it's just been special.
Take our next question right here, front, middle.
Jim Coyle, Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Kurt, you just talked about taking a day off and enjoying it that way and then getting back to work. But other than having a Coors Light in that teal chair. You just made history with a 16-0 national champion. How do you let yourself really enjoy this?
Good question. Because I'll be dealing with underclassmen going to the NFL tomorrow, and who knows what else. And if I was smart, I'd probably retire. Then I'd really be a story. But we need the money. What would I do? What would I do? No. So I don't know if I'll have a beer in the tilt chair. I had one after the game. That's enough for me. And we'll be back at it. I love what I do. I love football. I'm a football guy. I don't have many other things that I do besides family. And in the summer, go for a walk with my wife or go away. In February, the old signing date, first day after the old signing date. I'm a film junkie, and I like putting the team together, and we're going to have a lot of challenges next season. And, but I will have a chance to look back at what we got done, and these guys made it happen. Let me tell you, we had some great senior leadership on this team. Nowakowski, Coogan, Fisher, Kamara, Surratt. We got some underclassmen that are going to be going out. Fernando could be another one or two. But the seniors, this team was so close, so close. When you have this much success year in, year out, your teams are always close. But this team was exceptionally close. And I think Fernando had a big part of that. And I think Coogan and Fisher and going on the road with some of those wins, the Penn State game, what that did for this team, I can't measure. When we were down and out and all the odds were against us, 2nd and 17 running clock, minute 30, and all of a sudden we recomposed and found a way to get that done. That was incredible.
We'll take our next question in the back.
Hi, Lane Higgins from the Wall Street Journal. This one is for you, Coach. And, this is obviously a little bit of a different blueprint from what we've seen in college football based on both your career arc and how this team was assembled. Do you think that this opens the door for a different kind of coach to have an opportunity going forward, or maybe some non-traditional hires that we might see in the sport?
I think it already has, and you see that in this year's hiring process. But there's a number of guys out there that kind of started out at D2 and worked their way to this position. My career path was certainly unusual, but I think it prepared me for this particular opportunity. And I guess my answer is yes.
Lou Friedman from A Media, Indiana, for Fernando. Tonight you had one of the runs that will probably live on in IU lore. But the other day I was talking to your brother, and he was making fun of your running style. Does he do that to you? Does he tease you about that? I see these guys laughing, but does he? And have you had talks about that? And is this an answer to him too?
Yeah, I think everybody on the team, including the coaches, make fun of my running style. But as long as he gets his job done, it's 4th down. So no matter how you run, no matter what it is, you got to put it all on the line. And that's something that I was willing to do. And everybody, any player on our team, if they had that opportunity, they would put their body on the line too, and wouldn't want to do for any. It's so great because Coach Sig has talked about how close we are. Like, that's just the epitome of how close we are. Like, I'll have a big run and Fish will be like, man, you look so stupid. but you got it done. So it's just kind of like we can make fun of each other, joke, and in the end, I'll still be really, really close.
Time for just a couple more. We're going to go over here to the left-hand side in the middle.
Connor O'Gara, Saturday Down South. Coach, you said you had a beer after the game. What was the beer, and was that the best beer of your life?
Hoosier beer from Upland Brewery, okay? Big brewery in Bloomington, Indiana. Throw a little bouquet out to them. Yeah, absolutely. It was the best beer I've ever had in my life and made me want to have another.
I'm over here, front row on our right.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. For each of the student athletes, you met Curt Signetti at a different time in your path, but you all believed in him. He believed in you. Now that you're sitting here as national champions, 16-0, first time ever for the college football playoff era. For each of the student athletes, just what this moment means to you, believing in him, believing in each other.
Yeah, I've said it once. Coach Sig changed my life. from a kid that was, felt like I was under recruited, that, I deserved more attention than I got. And I remember when Coach Sig offered me, and, he offers me, he's like, do you want to do anything with it? Or, he's waiting for me to commit on the spot. So, shortly after I did, and then he got another opportunity to, come to Indiana. And it was a no-brainer for me. The amount of confidence he built in me, the trust and belief he had in me, why would you leave that? When a coach that cares that much about you and sees so much for your future, and he just talked about, development and growth for me all the time, it was a no-brainer. And I owe a lot to him. He's an unbelievable coach, but he's an unbelievable person. It's been special. I'm glad I made both those decisions the right way.
For me, I mean, we started this journey, as FCS players. Me and him definitely butted heads a lot when I was younger. And just knowing, like, how much I've grown, how much we've grown, I just know, like, everything that he did was just out of love. Even though in the moment I didn't feel it, but now I just understand as I get older, like, all the lessons that he taught me to stay humble, to stay poised, to stay ready, like, it's paying off, and I'm gonna be able to take everything that he's taught me into the NFL.
Yeah, I'd say with myself, it's kind of like a testament that everybody's had. Like, for example, Coach Sig betting on himself, going from Alabama, then going back down to D2, and all these other guys, really betting on himself and self-believing. It was a very tough decision to transfer for myself. However, when I got here or on the visit, he sold me on developing and that I could become the best Fernando Mendoza possible, and with a hell of a great group of guys. At that point, I knew it was a no-brainer, and just can't thank Coach Sig, Coach Shanahan, and Coach Whitmer enough. They're always sticking through with me through the thick and thin of this entire season.
Last two. First right here.
Coach, right here in front of you. Hey, Coach. AP Stedham of AP as we see it. Coach, 16 years ago, I had the pleasure of asking a native son of West Virginia if he ever envisioned as a young boy winning championships. So I ask you, as a young boy growing up, did you ever envision winning championships at this level of college football?
I knew in third grade I wanted to coach. I've told that story many a time. I wanted to be like a Bear Bryant kind of coach. But when I was waxing staff tables at IUP when school was shut down for the playoffs, I never really thought this was possible. But I just kept working, and things happened, and here we are.
Last question on the right-hand side, standing.
Coach, Matt Fortuna, the Inside Zone here. You were a successful football coach for 40-plus years before you got your shot at the quote-unquote big time. Was it hard not to be bitter about not getting that opportunity? And does it make a moment like this all the more sweeter? Are there lessons that people can take away from this?
I really wasn't a successful coach for 40-plus years. I got a great break, 23 years old, at Rice University, which back then was in the Southwest Conference. We played SMU before they got the death penalty. And I was making good money, and it was one of the top two conferences in the country. But Rice didn't win, and Temple didn't win, and we didn't win at Pitt under Johnny Majors, and people want to hire people from winning programs. We won a little bit under Walt Harris, but, we were 500. I learned a lot about quarterback play from him. He was a great quarterback coach. Went to NC State, we won. We had Phillip Rivers, and then when I spent 7 years there. But when Coach Saban hired me, we were 7-6 our first year at Alabama. We lost to Louisiana Monroe, 11th game of the year at home. But the next year, we had 6 first-round draft choices in that recruiting class. We were 12-0 in the regular season. Lost the SEC game. It was 1-2 to Tebow and Urban. Next year, we played them again, beat them, went 14-0, won the national championship. I really thought after my 1 year with Nick, I had what I needed to go out. That tied it together for me because I was the son of a coach who's in the Hall of Fame, head coach. I was hitting a big 5-0. I didn't want to be a career assistant. I was not a coordinator. I was not on track to get a head coaching job, and I didn't want to be a 60-year-old assistant. I'd seen what those lives looked like as a kid. So I took a chance, took an unprecedented chance in this business and ended up here. When I took that job, the goal wasn't to end up here, but I did. And the reason I'm sitting here today, I mean, all those things prepared me for this, but the reason I'm sitting here today is because of guys like this, and there's a ton of them in that locker room, and a great coaching staff and a lot of us have been together a long time, a great strength and conditioning staff, a commitment from the president and AD, and in the changing times of athletics, some of my previous experiences really helped me be ready to manage, NIL and transfer portal and those kind of things.
It means everything. We champs. That's all that matters. We champs. So I'm happy. That's all I can say. Oh,
what's going through your head right now?
Everything's going through my head right now. Ooh, I gotta go celebrate with my guys. I'm sorry.
We have such great synergy, and we're willing to die for one another. We're willing to risk our bodies, put our bodies on the line in order to get this win. This was so important for us, so important for IU, so important for the locker room. We're willing to do everything possible to get this win, and we did to get the win.
How do you describe the heart and spirit of your brothers on this team?
You can't even use words to it. I'm stuttering right now because I can't even use words to it. They're my brothers for life, and it's been the most special brotherhood. I'm so emotional about it, I can't even process it. Usually I both side cheers, but they're my brothers for life, and it's just a special group of guys. No one I'd rather do it with.
Fernando, I saw you approach your family, your mom and your dad. You're back home. Put into words to us and all the Hoosier Nation watching right now what it means to win this championship and accomplish a huge goal like this.
First national championship in IU history. What a great Cinderella story. What a fantastic season. Cap off such a historic season, especially in Miami. A lot of players on our team are from Miami, which is what a special season. Hoosier Nation showed out. I think we basically got a home field advantage in their place. So it's just a great opportunity and just such an amazing thing.
How much do your teammates mean to you to accomplish this with them, with Coach Signetti, be on top of the college football world?
Everything. Our locker room's so tight, I wouldn't rather do it with any other people. Those guys are my guys for life. Whether through thick or through thin, they've stuck through me throughout the season, and I've always stuck with them. Such a special group of guys.
Take us through that 4th and 5, that last play there, that touchdown. You dove in, gave your life for this team to get it done here.
Yeah, I'll dive for my guys, and I'll do the same for myself. It's such a special moment, and when I had the opportunity to dive on the field or dive and risk my body for them, it was a no-brainer. Thank you. God bless.
One of the guys up front in the trenches, Drew Evans. What does this mean to you? National champs.
Thank you so much. It means everything. This is amazing. It means everything.
What did it take for you guys to accomplish this goal that you set at the beginning of the year?
It took like a year of full hard work every day, doing the little stuff.
When you go back to the beginning of the season, those off-season workouts, did you know that this team could do what you just did tonight?
Yeah, we did. Something very special about this group. Very proud.
What was it this year that made you guys live up to these moments? You've won one-and-done games for the past month. How did you know this team was built for this moment?
It's just everything we did throughout the offseason, all the finishing, all the hard work, and it paid off.
What are your emotions just going through right now?
I'm pretty happy.
A little different play, had to tweak it a little bit, make sure, but I'm 2 for 2 on rushes right now, so I say hand me the ball, and I'll get the job done.
You're a national champion. What does this mean to you to take IU to heights it's never seen, never thought possible? Now you and your teammates are on the top of the college football world.
Man, I'm happy we could do this for our fans. You look here, we have more fans in Miami than Miami did. They got to walk down the street to come here. Our fans are flying in, driving in, doing whatever they can to get this game, man. So to be able to bring this home for them and for all of us, for all my teammates, for all our coaches, for everybody that's been supporting us, it means everything.
Aiden, an unbelievable year, a thrilling classic national championship with you guys on the winning end. What does this mean to you right now?
It means everything, man. God is so good to us. We're so blessed, we're so favored to be here. I'm glad we have this platform to go out here and glorify God and, everything we do. That's a great team across the sideline. They played their hearts out. I'm at a loss of words for us.
How did you know this team was built for this moment?
The guys that we have in this locker room, nobody quits. We all want to be great. We all wanted it so bad. We were told we weren't good enough. We were told that we were never going to amount to this. We were told we weren't capable. We had limitations put on us. And no, we don't. We kept telling ourselves, no, we're good. We have more to accomplish, and this is where it leads you.
Talk about that second half. Miami put some pressure on you guys there, but you guys were able to clamp down. Sharp with a huge interception at the end. This defense, what does it say about that group on the side of the ball?
Bend, don't break. We knew it was going to come down to us. We just needed somebody to make a big play. I think all 11 guys were ready to do it, and Sharp did it. I couldn't be more proud of him or happy for him.
What did Indiana prove to the entire country tonight?
We're champs. We're number one.
IU football are national champions. Charlie Becker right here. When I say that, what goes through your mind?
I mean, I don't have words. We're just so blessed. You know, these are my brothers. I love them so much, and you know, God has given us a great opportunity, and I'm so happy that I wouldn't come out here with anybody other than these guys.
Can you put this season, a perfect 16-0, Big Ten champions, Peach Bowl, Rose Bowl, national champions, can you put it into words for me, what you've done for this program?
I mean, there's no words. It's just a group of brothers who had a collective goal, and you know, we never took our eye off that goal for a second, and I couldn't be happier for these guys.
You made so many big catches. This was a back-and-forth game. Just talk to me about the mettle your team showed. Crucial plays down the stretch, yourself included.
Yeah, you know, that's just a testament to how hard these guys work in the offseason. And you know, when we weren't supposed to do any work, you know, these guys are in the indoor, and we're all getting together, you know, going through plays. We're doing that extra work, and it's just, I mean, again, I'm just so happy for these guys. There's nobody I'd rather come out here with.
You're a national champ. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Appreciate it.
You guys have overcome so much this year. What does Indiana prove tonight being national champions?
We just proved that if you stick to your coaching and stick to the fundamentals and listen to your coaches and do your job, I feel like anything is possible. Don't let doubters or anything like that tell you can't do it. And if you put your mind to it, you can do it.
What was this game like to play in? This was a classic. Came down to that final drive. What were the emotions? What was kind of the messages throughout this entire game, especially that second half there when Miami was making a push?
The message to the players really was treat it like another game. Don't make it bigger than what it is. I feel like that's how people make mistakes in games like this. But the message is the same. Just do your job. Don't make the game bigger. Don't try to be a superhero. And just do your 111. And I feel like everybody came together, and that's why we're successful.
Before this season started, did you know a moment like this could happen with this team?
If I'm being honest, I think it was probably the first time we beat Oregon. I was like, yeah, we got a chance at the Natty. I feel like that's what it is.
And you got it. You beat them for the second time in the Peach Bowl. Going into this game, what sort of was that mindset of, I know you guys want to treat it as just another game, right? But being on the biggest stage and seeing it come to fruition, what does that mean? What does that say about this team to be able to come through week in and week out?
It just goes for our coaching and hard work we put in throughout the season, and even before the season, in the off season. We worked hard for it. It's not something that was given to us. Everybody doubted us, and we earned it. I feel like we put the work in, and we earned it.
Do you think this is the best college football team of all time?
That's a little controversial thing going around right now. I'm not going to put us in front of anybody, but I feel like we're definitely up there.
Definitely up there. D'Angelo, congratulations, man. Best of luck, all right?
I just think like we built our identity throughout the year, and we never stopped growing, and we never got complacent, and we really just continue to grow and prosper and continue to get better and learn each and every day. And you know, it's the complacency part that I think we really took in stride, and I think that's why, you know, going 16-0 is unbelievably difficult. Obviously, no one's done it. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
You guys are literally the antithesis of what college football has become. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you guys are the hard workers and everything else is all out here, right? Have you ever thought about that?
Not yet, because we're still game planning. I'm sure maybe this week I'll crack a beer or something and just like drink some beers with my buddies and think about life and what we just did, but man, I don't know. It's crazy.
Thank you. Feeling on the other side of this last year to now this one, what was going through your head up on stage while you watched the game?
Just a lot of happiness and pride, gratefulness, like just so grateful for this team and this university for bringing me here and believing in me and giving me the opportunity, you know, to play this game that I love and the game that I was blessed with the talents and abilities to play, and it's a dream come true.
Here we are, 16-0. You guys are national champions. You didn't want to think about all the noise heading into this game, but here we are. Do you hear that noise now? What does it feel like to be national champion?
Man, it's so surreal, man. We put in so much work, so much effort, so much time, you know, so much craft, and, you know, and just to go out here and show the world, man, you know, they keep doubting us. They doubt us every week. And, you know, just proving them wrong every week, day in and day out, man. I can't speak enough how I feel, man. I'm just so surreal, so blessed, so grateful.
What was that second half like? Miami punching back at you guys. Haven't had to deal with that in the last couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
How are you guys able to buckle down and close this thing out?
I mean, man, it's such a dogfight, man. That's what we expected when we came. And, you know, we knew that we was going to get that, man, so we had to dig deep.
We know you came over with Kurt last year from JMU. What does it mean to go through the journey with him as your head coach?
Man, it's just so surreal, man. Like I said, man, all of us, man, you know, we real close. You know, just to end it with some of my seniors and, you know, us being older and stuff like that. You know, some of the guys that's, you know, leaving and stuff, you know, it's just so surreal, man. You know, such a brotherhood, man, such a chemistry.
What did Indiana football prove tonight?
You know, that we can hang with anybody, that we are the undisputed champs.
Do you guys put yourself in the conversation as best college football team of all time?
I don't do that, man. I don't get into all that. But, you know, that's up to, you know, viewers' discretion, man. I don't get into all that, man. I just know we undisputed champs. They can't take that away from us.
And you're celebrating it with your fans as well. I know we talked about that on Saturday. What does it mean to have this here?
Look over there, man. It's just the greatest fans in the world, man. Like I said, you know, we come out, we compete every week. You know, they compete just with us, man. You know, without them, you know, they give us so much energy, man. So it's such a blessing, man.
What was going through your mind on that last interception from Jamari?
Man, it's dogfight, man. Like, it was just so surreal. I was like, oh, he got it. Caught it, ball game.
IU football's on top of the college football world. Mark Cuban, pretty proud alum, I'd imagine.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's just incredible to feel it. Just being so nervous the whole game and just all that stress just to come out when that interception happened, to watch Mendoza 4th and 5 after you pulled out the kicking team make one of the most magical, legendary plays in college football championship history.
What's going through your head when that happens?
I'm like, okay, we're not kicking, we're going for it. Oh my God! And then, oh my God, right? And I mean, that's what champions do. And he, Coach Sig, the whole coaching staff, Scott Dolson deserves so much credit. Just to be a fan, to be a little part of it, and just knowing that, you know, tonight, since we're like the ultimate underdogs, every single person is an IU fan tonight. I mean, everywhere, and that's incredible.
Did you ever think this was possible?
Hell no.
But it happened.
But now it's a movie, and we're part of it. We're all part of it, and every Hoosier fan around the world is just enjoying the moment,
including you.
All right, just moments here after Indiana wins the national championship. Adewale Ogunleye, you were the honorary captain for this team tonight.
Good luck. Yeah. Brought us good luck.
Just unbelievable, Adewale, how this team has been able to get to this point. What's going through your head right now?
16-0, and in 2 years, we've probably put a product on the field that is going to be argued was one of the greatest football programs of all time. Like, this gauntlet that they ran through of Alabama, Oregon twice, Ohio State, and to beat Miami in Miami, how does it get any better than that? So, again, kudos to Scott Dolson, Kurt Signetti, Mendoza, and his football team of changing decades of just demons of bad football and football that we just couldn't get over the hump. And to do it in 2 years to where now we're national champions is just so real. So, again, hats off to Hoosier Nation. Hats off to all the fans that sat through years and years of bad football and knowing eventually that something was going to happen. Dorothy was going to click her heels and we were going to be national champions. So I'm happy.
When did you kind of get a feeling that something like this could happen with this program?
You know, I think last year was really a beginning for us. Really disappointed in how we ended the year. I thought we could have found a way to win, but I think it was a learning experience for us. This year, I think that Penn State game, for me, even as they were struggling, but they're still Penn State. And that's another thing that we've had to kind of overcome is just the blue blood programs and the aura and the history. And Sig did a great job of overcoming that history and creating our own. So for me, I think that Penn State game was the one where I was like, you know what, we've got something special.
And then talk about this game, an instant classic here. It goes down to the final minutes. What were your emotions like on the sideline there watching this thing unfold?
Oh, up and down, up and down. You know, I was standing on every single play. I was second guessing every move that coaches were making. But again, That's why he gets paid the big bucks, and he got us his national championship. But to see the red and white confetti come down in this stadium is amazing. Indiana has done some good things here. The Colts beating me when I played the Bears here, and now my Hoosiers have won here in the stadium, so I'm super happy about it.
You touched on it a little bit. Is this the greatest college football team of all time?
I'm biased, so I'm going to say yes, because at the end of the day, you have no, maybe if you have any 5 stars, maybe 1 or 2, I don't even think we have any, but to have no 5 stars and very little 4 stars, and for them to go out there and beat 16-0 against some storied programs in this new football playoff system that we have, and to go through, and we, besides this game, we ran through a bunch of teams, and we went through some adversity today, and we came out with the win, so I'm super happy.
Well, Adewale, I really appreciate your time. Congratulations. Honorary captain, you brought him luck today.
Alberto Mendoza, you had a front row seat to not only this IU football program, but your brother and what he was able to accomplish. To be a part of this team, history, what's it mean to you?
I mean, it's incredible. Fernando deserves every bit of it, the Heisman, every accomplishment that he got on the way here, and he's just so deserving, and the team's so deserving. We worked so hard to get here, and it's incredible that we're here.
Why is it that this team was able to block out the noise every single step of the way, no matter they hadn't been at this point, you guys hadn't seen the success, but you just kept on task and got this done?
Yeah, I mean, like they say, we're a bunch of misfits, and we've always blocked out noises all our lives, everyone on the team, and they've always told us we can't, we couldn't, so we just blocked it out, and we got it done.
You're a national champion. How do you feel right now?
I feel incredible. I'm so happy for everyone on the team, and everyone's worked so hard, so everyone's very deserving.
Appreciate your time. Congratulations.
They're very fortunate to be in the position. They're winning anyways, right? They're in a position where they're able to play the sport they love, have a platform where they can do some good, and enjoy each other's company, and so that's really, they're winning. So.
Did you ever dream this could happen? Heisman Trophy,
National
championship.
I don't know. You dream it, but is it reality? So we just one day at a time, one season at a time. Like Fernando and Alberto say, one rep at a time. So one step at a time.
The way the team approached this season, one game at a time, the unbelievable wins, the Penn State game, winning a Big Ten title, winning the college football playoff national championship. Everyone says this is like a movie we just saw.
Yeah, well, I hope you're recording all this, because we may not remember this tomorrow or the next day, so please send some video. No, it's been surreal. It's been surreal to say the least.
Well, your 2 sons both make this community so proud. Fernando, what an incredible season he had as a Heisman Trophy champion. And a champion of character as well. A wonderful young man.
Yes, he's definitely a champion of character, and that's the most important to us. So.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. It's really gratifying to hear all throughout the season IU fans, and even tonight, Canes fans really commenting and being very, very celebratory of Fernando and Alberto as men, which was really, really gratifying.
There was various UM fans that said, I'm a UM fan, but I am a Fernando fan too.
Yeah. And to do this at
home. It's cool. It's really cool. It's fun. And props to Coach Cristobal, Coach Mirabal, which I know we played football with, and those guys they're great coaches, great men, and they had a great season. Props to them. Congratulations to them as well.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You make
Thank
the
you,
whole
everybody.
community proud.
How long will these smiles? They'll never go away, will they?
No, never go away.
No.
So.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
You can't say it any better than these players, and Kurt Signetti said it after the game. We had a chance to talk to many of them, alumni. I mean, cathartic watching nobody leave after the game, and just the passion in which the noise levels, the decibels. I'll never forget standing in the tunnel when the game was iced.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so awesome for Indiana University, the alumni base, the football program. This can happen in 2026 in college football.
Yes, it can, with how everything has changed. But you have a guy like Signetti, he's in a class of his own in terms of head coaching. And you heard him say it. What happens now? Well, take the day off tomorrow. Then you're back to work on Wednesday.
On Wednesday,
You're starting to look ahead. It's 2026 now. And, how awesome. Very cool.
It's very cool. It was a pleasure covering this Indiana football team. I don't know if we'll ever be able to do something like this the rest of our lives.
I don't know.
It's been pretty great. Thank you for your viewership, for watching our coverage. We hope you enjoyed it. I suspect we'll have much more this upcoming week and maybe the rest of January. But Indiana football, 27-21 over Miami to win the college football playoff national championship. What a world. That's Eli Gain. I'm Dominic Miranda. Keep up with us on air on WTHR+.